Welcome back to the Intercourse Show. I am your host, Mr. B. In this segment, we're going to discuss celebrity relationships. Is it wise to have open discussions about your relationships, past or present, online? Well, we're going to find out tonight. Apparently, Cameron, who's got a pretty nice set of shows online, he does the Talk with Flea show as well as the It Is What It Is show, all very successful. In this Talk with Flea episode, he decided to, I guess, entertain a conversation with his ex-girlfriend. And during the course of them sort of reliving their relationship, the conversation seemed to have turned where people started airing out dirty laundry and bringing receipts, reading the receipts online. Then, kind of it started getting a little heated, a little contested. So obviously that's a pretty long episode. I just found a little 8-minute clip of it. Apparently this is going viral right now. So I have some dude who's actually summarizing it, and we're going to bring that to the forefront and just react to some of the highlights from that. We try to mix it up on the show. So let's see how this conversation went.
If it ain't one thing, it's another in the wonderful world of Cameron the podcaster. We got to talk about this because this one got real uncomfortable real fast. So Cameron, yes, Killer Cam, Dipset legend, had his ex, Callie O'Day, on his podcast, Talk with Flea. And what was supposed to be a grown-up conversation turned into receipts, raised voices, and a whole argument about money, protection, and provision. And when I tell you this conversation had Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Red Pill YouTube all arguing at the same time, yeah, it got spicy.
A life, especially one who's intimate with me, automatically wants to step into leadership and provision and want to protect and provide for me. Kim has never given me those vibes.
Yeah. You got a boyfriend right now, Kelly?
No.
Exactly.
Why does that matter? Do you have a girlfriend right now, Kim?
I don't need nobody to protect or provide for me. I'm not looking for that.
So Cam invites his ex, Callie O'Day, on Talk with Flea. At first it's calm. They talking about history, past love, missed expectations, and boom, the conversation shifts to money.
I'm just trying to say,
that.
I'm just trying to say that this is the thing, that you think that because you're dating somebody, like for instance, right? Give you an example.
So as a woman, if I share my body with a man, I shouldn't expect him to want to protect and provide for me? That you would teach your daughter? What?
The problem is this, you want to protect
You think
and
men
provide.
and women are equal?
No, what I'm trying to explain to you is this. For me, I rather invest in my female than give my female.
Callie brings up a $25,000 loan she asked Cam for back when they were together. She wanted it for business ideas, wedding venues, entrepreneurial moves. Cam, he shut it down fast.
And that's the problem.
You never invested in me.
Because you had bad investments. That's why you're in nursing school. I'm trying to explain to you that the investments that you had weren't good.
That's not why I'm in nursing school. I've been working on my nursing degree since 2019.
Why you don't have it yet?
I opened the business to help me get through nursing school.
And which was a bad,
income.
Which was a bad investment. Right.
Okay. I'm going to jump right into this. So it seems like one of the areas of contention in this clip is that she holds it against Cam that he didn't do more to help her, because when they were in a relationship, the expectation was that he was supposed to protect and provide for her. What the heck does that mean, really? That's code word for she wanted Cam to be her sponsor. She wanted him to make a limited amount of investments into whatever it is she dreamt up without asking no questions, without expecting no return on investments. She wanted him to support her dreams and however that may materialize. And while he was in a relationship with her, I'm sure she was enjoying all the perks of that relationship. But apparently it wasn't enough. She wanted him to do more. And I guess it got to a point where Cam was starting to see there's no return on investment here. It appears as if your expectations are kind of out of line and unreasonable Because if I am investing in you, I expect to see some fruits for what I'm investing in. She just made a point here where she's felt like she had the moral ground to challenge his manhood, if you will, because a real man is supposed to protect and provide for the woman that they choose to be with. That's a common storyline that a lot of modern women use these days to try to shame a man into essentially paying their bills. But in reality, if you're there for the man, your needs are already met. I'm sure when she went to go hang out with Cam, he was taking her along on all those trips. He was feeding her at high-end restaurants. She was experiencing the life that celebrities live. So if he's on a yacht, she was on a yacht. If he's in an expensive hotel, she was there. If he was, with her, he's buying her gifts. She's living a life that she probably wouldn't be living if she wasn't dating a guy of that caliber. But yet still, she can still come online and make it appear as if he wasn't doing his job as a man, which I find quite interesting. And it's really kind of it's low vibrational argument to make to me. Now, I don't know the dynamic of their relationship, and I'm not necessarily picking sides, but I am calling a spade a spade. Women like that generally are not in it for the man that they're dating. They're in it for the bag. They see this dude as a person who's a high earner, and they see him as a lick. So they're going to play up to say and do whatever it is they feel they got to say and do to stay in his good graces and to get him to spin the bag. A lot of women, a lot of young women especially, you know what I'm saying? That's sort of the angles that they're taking. They're not really looking to support or be a helpmate for a man. They just trying to get to the bag. And some dudes like a Cam, he's not desperate for the validation of a pretty woman. He's got plenty pretty women to deal with. So why would he allow her to game him and talk all this nonsense into his ear to make him feel like he's not doing enough? He's not a real man because he didn't support her dreams indefinitely. Seemed like they were in a relationship for years. And as Cam puts it, eventually you start to count the cost of dealing with a person. If they're not an asset to you, they're a liability. And at some point, you got to cut your losses. So it seemed like my man reached the point where he cut the losses. So now she tried to say, well, I've been in nursing school for X amount of years. She's been in nursing school since 2019. 2019. That was 7 years ago. It's 2026. They're having a conversation. She still don't have a degree. So her excuse then was I was invested in the business. That's why I didn't get the degree. This is exposing the fact that the young lady doesn't seem motivated. She doesn't seem not just motivated, but she doesn't seem like she finishes what she starts. This speaks to her judgment. And to me, as a guy with daughters, I'm going to tell my daughters, listen, be more self-sufficient. Make sure that you present yourself as a person who have your head on straight. She's already coming across to me like not someone to be taken serious. You know what I'm saying? So from what I'm hearing, and again, this is their relationship. I'm no expert. I'm just, a guy commenting because this stuff is online, which I don't think really people should be airing their dirty laundry online, but to each his own. My opinion is that this is, exposing the fact that maybe she wasn't there for the right reasons. Now, apparently there's some controversy going back and forth online. The women will generally, support other women, and they will sort of pounce on the fact that, hey, Cameron's a celebrity. He got it. He got the bag. He should have done more to help her. And it makes him look bad, supposedly, because he didn't do enough. But really and truly, for a guy like that, he's not, he don't care about what people talk about online. Like, this is a dude who's securing himself enough so that he's not over here tricking on women like that. I'm sure he trick on women when he think it's sensible to do it, but he ain't gonna make a full-time job out of doing it. Apparently, that relationship had an expiration date. Now, dude did confess, I'm sexually attracted to the chick. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get at it. But the way she moving, you know what I'm saying, is not enough for me to justify the cost. So I had to let that ride. All right, let's continue.
Anyway, like I was trying to explain,
Cameron basically says, I'm not investing in something I don't believe in. Then he goes a step further and calls it a bad investment. Once he said bad investment, it was over.
because it's a bad investment or somebody gives you an opinion, you reverse it into I don't want to protect, provide. You never looked out for me. Yo, you didn't really like you always looked past me because I don't think what you were doing was going to make money for yourself or for me. That's how you revert it to say, yo, you never want to look out for me. You never did this for me.
Now, this is where it got spicy. Callie's argument was basically, if you're my man, you're supposed to protect and provide. Cameron's response was, I'm not obligated to fund everything just because we're dating. And this is where the internet split straight down the middle. Cam was saying love don't equal unlimited access to his bank account. He doesn't mix emotions with bad business. And being careful with money is protecting himself.
You never believed in me. You always look past me because I give you my real opinion.
Okay, Cam, what's your feelings towards her?
Listen, I love Callie as a friend, man. Like I said, she's a beautiful girl. I would love to be her friend, but we're just not in a space of being friends because the last time we talked, I wouldn't let her move in my house. So we stopped speaking.
That has nothing to do with it.
I'm just telling you last time, for me, that's what it was.
That's not why we stopped speaking.
Why we stopped speaking? Tell me.
See, another thing he called out. So again, her intentions are being exposed. This is a person he said she was counting the rooms in his house, and she was trying to move in. This is somebody who's going around counting your pockets. You know what I'm saying? Trying to keep track of what you got. This dude's up right now. He's got a little motion. The podcasts are taking off. He's making money. You know what I'm saying? And she seemed, like maybe I could revisit the situation. So now she's trying to figure out how can I get back in here. You know what I'm saying? And dude's like, come on, man, this is a grown man, probably close, probably in his late 40s, if not in his 50s. He's not thinking on that type of time where he gonna let you run game on him mentally like he's a young boy. Like, this dude don't need that. He values his peace. This doesn't seem like the type of woman that's bringing nobody no peace now. I mean, I think she was a fun girl for Cam. I think at some point they had a good time. They enjoyed themselves. You know what I'm saying? And he liked her enough to be in a relationship with her and to make it a thing. But, some things you can't stay with forever, man. Sometimes you got to evolve. You got to grow. And it doesn't seem like this lady is got a mature mindset. She, to me, comes across as a young girl in the way that she thinks. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't think like she's a grown woman. She's not acting like that. Like, to me, I feel like there's got to be a point in relationships where you get beyond the petty, you get beyond the superficial, and you start really thinking about the bigger picture, right? Like, a dude like that wants a person who's going to make his life easier, not a person who's going to make his life burdensome. To me, she needs to be learning how do I be, useful to a man like that. Cam said just now in the clip, she never believed in me. She criticizes me when I give her feedback, especially if it's not something she wants to hear. Now, if a man like that feel like you don't believe in him, why do you think he would let you move back in his house, or he would continue to support you indefinitely with his bank account? And he's feeling like you don't believe in him. So that means that something you're doing is rubbing the dude the wrong way. So to me, ladies, I'm just giving, you know what I'm saying, my honest opinion. You know what I mean? As a dude with sisters and I got daughters and all that, I would tell them from the heart, like, listen, make sure whoever it is you're dealing with feels like you got their back. Make sure that you're authentically supporting that person in a way that they feel is valuable. You know what I mean? Understand the person's love language. Be supportive, be reassuring, do your part. That doesn't mean you have to have the same gifts they got. You got to do the same things they do. But there's something you can do to make that man's life easier and figure out what it is and figure out a way where he's like, damn, I miss this person doing this for me, so that they feel like living without you isn't an option. To me, that's the win. I think for her, pretty girl, she been leaning on that beauty. That's why the Bible says the beauty is fleeting. You know what I mean? At some point, ladies, it's not just about how good you look, or how nice your jeans fit your hips, or how big your butt is, or how big your breast is, or the type of tricks you can do with the throat. It ain't about all that. At some point, well, I mean, I'm not saying that's not important, but at some point, you got to figure out, how do I be more than just that? You know what I'm saying? How do I make my man feel protected, supported, loved? How do I make him feel confident? How do I make a king out of the man? And when you do that effectively, a man will give you the world. There isn't a thing he won't do for you. But if a man's already looking at you side eye like, why are you really here? He ain't shelling out no money. If you don't feel like you believe in him, if you don't feel like you here for the right reasons, your motives are in the right place, he damn sure ain't shelling out no money. That to me is an early sign. Shorty ain't play her cards right. So.
So I guess that's the reason why.
Callie was saying emotional support isn't enough. She felt dismissed and she felt like he didn't believe in her. And that's when she started pulling out old text messages. Once receipts came out on camera, that's when the energy changed completely.
And then getting my bachelor's degree in
Callie, you're supposed to have your bachelor's degree.
no, well, a nursing degree is one of the hardest degrees you can possibly get. I just want you to know it's the most challenging. I'm a math and science major. People go to school for communication and shit.
Callie, whatever.
It doesn't matter. I was a business owner.
I'm proud of you. I'm so proud. But I'm just saying, like, you're like I don't about my age. You lie about your age.
So why I gotta go around telling everybody?
Because you know why? You used to diss. You was dissing. She was 35, 36 in a strip club.
Was picking on me, telling bitches don't keep straight cash.
She's like, this old bitch, yada yada yada. This old bitch in the strip club, this, that, and the third. Now you're older than her. I'm just telling you, you used to diss her because of her age. I'm just saying.
So now they're reading text on air, tone changing, voices raising. Callie's basically saying Cameron promised support that never came. Cam is saying she's rewriting history. And let me be clear, this didn't look like two people arguing for clout. This looked like two people who never fully healed.
What happened was this. Callie's counting bedrooms in my house. And I have a lot of bedrooms in my house. And she was coming to the West Coast. And she said, she might have said 2 weeks. I don't know. But I knew it wouldn't have been 2 weeks. Because I don't know if I necessarily want to live with you, especially being that we wasn't intimate for years. I am sexually attracted to her, but I know that sex for me and her isn't really good. It leads to other problems outside of our friendship. Callie likes to do crazy shit. Walk around my house in panties and don't give me no pussy. Act like she got wet.
You is a liar.
I actually have pictures, which we're not going to share, of course, where we're watching television and she's laying ass to me, panties and house on my lap. So basically in the 69 position, and she wants to watch TV like this.
You can tell this wasn't just about 25,000. This was about feeling valued versus feeling used. Now,
okay, ladies, this is another thing I got to say about this. You can't be weaponizing the poem. That's crazy. That's crazy. And y'all do that sometimes. Sometimes women will start to understand the power of the P, and what they'll do, especially if they know they got you open and you like their goodies, they'll start to, do provocative things like walk around the house in their panties, the boy shorts, and all the lingerie and all that stuff, showing everything out and making it look all good. And next thing you know, the dude ready to go, he's a rocket. And they're like, nah, I'm not in the mood. With a straight face. Dead ass give you no box. And it's such an environment as a man, you can't violate, you can't cross the line. So at the end of the day, you got to eat that. You know what I'm saying? That blue ball experience, you got to eat it. You know what I'm saying? And there's only but so long you can go around with that. You got this girl in your house, you chilling. She's supposed to be your girl. She over here playing with the kitty. You not getting no goodies, no milkshake, nothing. You getting nothing. And next thing you know, she wants you to invest $20,000+ into her dreams. Miss, what is going on here? Like, I'm sorry. You're not enough of a protector and a provider. So her kitty don't get wet for you. It's dry. So now you can't get no cat. That's crazy. Listen, men are very simple creatures, okay? Now I'm talking to the grown-ups in the room. You know what I mean? Hopefully ain't nobody younger watching me, but the grown-ups in the room, we need to stop playing around. Men are simple creatures, okay? We want to make sure, you know what I'm saying, that we can enjoy the fruits of our relationship with our lady, right? If a man, especially if a man got a high sex drive, you know what I'm saying? He don't want to be in this room with you debating about whether or not he gonna get some tonight or not. Come on, man. What dudes do, they're gonna find a replacement. Or they're just gonna let you rock out and then they're gonna line something else up. And then there's gonna be a mental note made in their mind, like, shorty be playing too much. I'm not really into that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to let you crash out here for weeks on end and I ain't getting no box. And then you got all these demands and shit. Like it's some sort of ransom note. Crazy. Can't do that. So it's evident that she was playing around. To me, going back to the maturity thing, she seemed young-minded to me. She seemed like the type of person that's playing. But I think in a way, in a very toxic way, Cam liked that shit, that back and forth, the little yin and the yang, and she got a little sass to her. Dudes like shit like that, especially New York dudes. So it's a fact. We like a little chase. We like a chick who got a little spice, a little paprika in there. We do. But the shit gets old. It does get old. You don't want to be in a situation where you dealing with a grown woman and she doing foul shit like that, coming in, looking good, body on fleek, everything right, and then she ain't giving no box. It's crazy. And then she got a demand like, yo, I need $20,000 for you to fund my dreams. I've been working on this degree for 8 years. I still don't got it, but you know, I can move in next week. What? Like, it sound crazy. It's just not the way to go about it, ladies. Don't follow this playbook.
And for people who's asking who even is Callie O'Day, she wasn't just some random bot. They had a real relationship. It was close, emotional, and personal. Not a super public celebrity couple, but clearly close enough that money, future plans, and expectations were discussed. Which is why the podcast didn't feel like entertainment. It felt like unfinished business.
If you want to get technical about this situation, what happened is this. I offered to eat Callie when she came.
Interesting.
Right. She said no.
Okay.
2 days later, she thought about it, said, yo, could you eat my I said no. I said no.
Right.
I offered to eat you didn't want it. She asked another day, so you're not going to eat my No.
Now, the internet did what the internet always does.
I respect this, bro. Listen, the man was feeling generous one time. He asked. She was being cute about it. She rejected him. He remembered it, and he returned the favor. I believe in the law of reciprocity, people. Okay? Whatever you sow, this is all biblical. Whatever you sow, that you shall receive. Okay? If the man was being generous, he wanted to eat the kitty out, you acting like you not interested. Now, if you want him to eat it out, at some point later on, he has every right to not be interested. Okay? His body, his choice. Okay? If he doesn't want to do all of that extra stuff, you got to respect it. But to me, obviously I'm being playful, but to me, I can see a little bit of their dynamic, right? Like they get each other. They rock out. You could tell they have fun with each other and stuff like that. So that's probably what it is. It's just that there's an attraction there, but in terms of doing a serious relationship, that requires more than just an attraction. So that's probably why that thing didn't work out.
Team Cam was like, a grown man is allowed to say no. Just because you date a rich rapper doesn't mean entitlement. And Team Callie was like, if you love somebody, you invest. Emotional support doesn't pay bills.
I don't like that. Emotional support doesn't pay bills. These are all the I don't want to say gold diggers, but they're digging for gold. These are all the I'm not here because of you. I'm here because of what you got types. This is, again, to the young men who's not accustomed to the verbiage that's out here, maybe because you just don't have that much exposure to women. There are what we would call opportunists, women who are opportunists. What does that mean? An opportunist lady is a person who finds an opportunity to take advantage. So you're going to have a chorus of women who think like this one, telling you almost in a way to kind of shame them. Like whenever a woman tries to attack your manhood because she's not getting you to do what it is that she wants you to do, that's an opportunist woman. That's a manipulative woman. You got to pay attention to that. So if all of a sudden you was a good enough man for her to be in a relationship with, for her to be with for an extended period of time, and all of a sudden she wants you to do something, and now you ain't shit, a real man is supposed to protect and provide and do this and all that. A real woman is supposed to be a helpmate to a man. What are we talking about? A woman like that that's guilt tripping you, it's because she feel like she can get over on you, bro. She thinks that when she gives you this emotional guilt trip, that somehow it's gonna slap you back into shape and get you thinking like she wants you thinking. So now you're gonna be so ready to prove to her you're a real man that you are gonna sign a check, that you are gonna do something that you know is not rational or smart or wise to do. And if you do that and she gets away with convincing you to do that, guess what, buddy? She's gonna continue to do that shit. She's gonna continue to test your manhood, challenge you, disrespect you, make you feel low so she can manipulate you to do what it is she wants you to do. If a girl's doing that, it's an early sign. Maybe this is just a casual encounter. Enjoy it while you can, but don't park your car there, bro. Can't spend the night. Hit it and quit it. Get out of there. You know what I mean? Don't crash out. Don't buy the ring, okay? Do not wife that up. That's simply what I'm saying. Like, be wise about how you moving out here, right? Sending money and doing all that stuff, that's not what's going to make somebody love you. If a person's loving you because you sending them money, they don't love you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, whoever you love and care for, you're going to take care of them. Think about it. My pastor said this one thing. I thought it was so dope when he said it. He said, look, you don't got to worry about getting wet when you jump in the water. Jumping in the water comes with getting wet. So when you doing right by a man, you jump in a relationship with a man who cares about you, who loves you, you don't got to worry about him taking care of you. He's going to take care of you. It's a given. You know what I'm saying? So any man who has somebody in their life, you know what I'm saying, generally is not going to not be good to the person. Like, obviously there's exceptions to the rule. I'm not talking for every man. I know there's some, you know, not so good men that don't do that. But generally speaking, most men instinctually take care of what they care about. They take care of their flock. I don't believe that Cam was going out dealing with this girl and he was having her pay for her own meals. I don't believe that. I don't believe, you know what I'm saying, he was renting Motel 6s to have sex with her. I don't believe that. I think she was living the life. She was coming to the house. She was experiencing the lavish lifestyle that this celebrity rapper was living. She got wet when she jumped in that pool, that relationship with him. She enjoyed the perks of dating a celebrity. But now to shame him, a real man got to invest in their dreams. And of course, you know, the people running the scam, the crew online, obviously echoes that thing because they want men to feel like, yeah, you ain't a real man if you're not tricking out on a woman. That's not what it is, man. That's not what makes a real man. A real man takes care of his. He shows up. He lends his time. He supports. He cares for his loved ones. He protects them. he shows up for them in whatever way they need to do that. And if she was in a relationship with a man that long and it took her that long to realize he wasn't a real man, maybe her argument is flawed. Because it shouldn't take you multiple years to realize a guy's not a real man. If you thought he wasn't a real man year one, shame on you for staying in that relationship. So clearly he was man enough to keep you around for more than a year. And now all of a sudden he's not a real man, but then you're going to ask the man if you can move in his house. It sounds crazy. But, you know, obviously I'm saying this in love. Don't come for me. You know what I mean? I'm just sharing my opinion on the clip. Don't come for me. But, you know, relationship stuff, man, it is what it is. It's a tricky situation to navigate.
Let's be real. Both sides made a point. That's why the clip went viral. So now the big question is, where does Cam stand now? Cam has made it pretty clear lately he's not rushing into relationships and he's focused on peace, business, and content. Now there have been rumors, little whispers, alleged situations, but nothing confirmed, nothing public, nothing serious. And after this podcast, I don't blame him for staying single. At the end of the day, this wasn't just gossip. This was a real conversation about expectations, money, and boundaries. So I gotta ask y'all, was Cam right for protecting his bag, or did Callie O'Day deserve more support? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, and you already know we covering everything, so keep it locked.
All right, that's the end of that clip. Thank you guys for joining us. Hopefully y'all found some of my feedback entertaining, useful, helpful. Ladies, don't come for me now. Don't come for me, all right? Don't come for me. I know the sister code's strong out here, but don't come for me. At the end of the day, do better. I'm not going to hold you, though. I think Cam still like the girl. And I think the girl still like Cam. You can tell they got a little chemistry. There's a vibe. He's not with the okie doke, but, you know, he still vibe out with her. That's what he said. I can still be friends with her and all that, but we're not entertaining no serious relationship. You know, you got real money to protect. You're not over here trying to squander it on this lady. Come on, let's be serious. All right. I pray that this was edifying to you all. Hopefully you were entertained by it. I welcome you to lend your voice to this conversation. If you agree with my feedback, if you disagree with my feedback, lend your voice. Like and subscribe to the video. Turn that notification on so you stay connected to whenever we do videos. And let's connect. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. This is called the In the Course Show because we welcome conversation. Okay, so I welcome y'all feedback. Definitely leave your comments and share the video, and let's get the conversation started. But all jokes aside, I know all this was done in good fun. You know, I wish you guys the best. You know, I pray that God blesses you all my listeners, until we meet again for the next one. All right. Have a good one. Good night.